first Latin American country to recognize 4 Ukrainian territories annexed by Russia. Kintadothi, Nicaragua has become the first Latin American country to officially recognize Russia's sovereignty over 4 Ukrainian territories annexed by Moscow through referendums in 2020. According to sources from Nicaragua's local media and Russian news agency Russia Today (RT), the move was made in an open letter to Russian President Vladimir Putin on July 30th from Nicaraguan President Daniel Ortega and Vice President Rosario Murillo. In the letter, the two leaders announced the recognition of the 4 regions of Donetsk, Kherson, Luhansk, and Zaporizhzhia as inseparable parts of the Russian Federation. They praised the Russian military for protecting world peace through the special military operation in Ukraine and expressed solidarity with Russian families whose relatives died in the conflict. These statements not only reflect Nicaragua's long-standing pro-Russian stance, but also reinforce the Central American nation's position as one of Moscow's few allies on the international stage. Nicaragua was one of the few countries to recognize Russia's annexation of Crimea in 2014, despite opposition from much of the international community. In 2020, Nicaragua continued to stir controversy by opening an honorary consulate in Simferopol, Crimea, leading to Ukraine imposing sanctions on the country. A year later, Nicaraguan officials went on to sign an economic and trade cooperation agreement with the Russian-installed government in Crimea, deepening tensions with Kiev. In response to Nicaragua's latest move, Ukraine's foreign ministry has called on the Nicaraguan government to deny the recognition of territories annexed by Russia. In a statement, Kiev stressed that if this information is confirmed, Ukraine will consider it a serious violation of international law, including the principles and purposes of the United Nations Charter, the resolutions of the UN General Assembly, and Nicaragua's international obligations. Ukraine also announced that it would take appropriate measures to respond to this unfriendly action. Russia's annexation of the 4 regions of Donetsk, Luhansk, Kherson, and Zaporizhzhia took place after referendums that were deemed illegal by the international community in late 2022. Despite the annexation, Russian forces do not currently have full control over any of the 4 regions. According to the latest information, Russia only controls most of the Luhansk region, while it has only a limited presence in Kherson and Zaporizhzhia, and has not been able to take over all of Donetsk. Russia currently occupies about 20% of Ukraine, including the Crimean Peninsula, which it annexed in 2014. Nicaragua is not the first country to support Russia's territorial claims. Previously, Syria, under the Assad regime, recognized the independence of 2 Russian-backed entities in Donetsk and Luhansk. The Democratic People's Republic of Korea, a new ally of Russia after 2022, also supported Moscow's referendums. Analysts say Nicaragua's public support for Russia not only strengthens the alliance between the 2 countries, but also reflects Moscow's strategy to expand its influence in Latin America. In the context of escalating geopolitical tensions, Nicaragua's actions could further complicate diplomatic efforts to end the war in Ukraine.